Alright, so in this video I am going to make an extruder die that is a sort of a flattened coil. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to top, and I'm going to take my rectangle tool here, and I am going to draw a shape that I need to be 26 millimeters by 9 millimeters. Now you can stretch it to those dimensions or just type in when these are highlighted here. And so okay, so now I'm going to deselect that, and I'm going to rotate this around. I'm going to select the face here, and I'm going to pull this up to 20 millimeters. Now the 20 is going to be too tall, but you'll see why I do that here in a minute. So now I'm going to select the edges here, and if you just select one and then just rotate around and just shift click, so I'm selecting all four, and now I'm going to move these in here. Now, obviously you make any shape you want for the extruder, so I'm just going to set these at 3 millimeters, and that way this will kind of give me this extruded shape that's like this, with this kind of long thin form with some slightly rounded corners. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the top view again, and I'm going to double click this so I can select the whole thing. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just see, this is the origin of, or the center of this object, and this is the origin right here of the drawing. And so, it's not super critical in this to have it exactly in the center, but just for the sake of aesthetics, I'll just put it right in the center. Okay, so now I'll deselect that. Okay, so now you can kind of see what we have here. I'll go back to top here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this body, and so that way I can come back over here to sketch, and I'm going to pick the circle, and I'm going to then pull this out. Now our extruder dies for the Emico extruder that we have in the studio are about 113 millimeters. So let me zoom out of that just a little bit, and so now you can see I have this drawing here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this body, the other body, back on here. Then I'm going to select this, and now I'm going to, you can either pull it up manually here until you get to 10, or just type in 10, and oops, like that. And so now when I deselect this, I'm going to select this body here, and oops, and just pull it out here, and you can see it goes all the way through. Now I'm just going to hit delete once that is clicked, and so now I have this shape here. Now what I want to do is I want to bevel this inside edge so that the clay doesn't tear too much. I can get a bevel here that will kind of compress the clay. So I'm going to select just the edge here, and I'm going to go around, and I'm going to shift click this, and so like that. Sometimes you have to kind of zoom in, so you're clicking on just the edge here. And now I'm going to then put a bevel here by just sliding that out. And so I will, do something about like that, 3.5 millimeters, and deselect that. And if I zoom out, now I have an extruder die. It's flat on the bottom, and it's got a little bevel there where the clay can kind of get compressed through. And so then I would just go and I would save this as an STL file, and then move it into a slicing software to print. On the slicing software, I usually set the infill to about 30 and 30%, and that will typically be strong enough. If you feel like it's still flexing, you can add either add infill, or also you can add top and bottom layers. But that's how you'd make an extruder die, and obviously you could do several of these. Like, you could have this be multiple slots here if you want. For example, I have one that extrudes little 1/4-inch squares, and I have probably 10 or 15 of them on the same extruder die. So you could also, that you could design a profile of a handle, for example, and extrude that. Um, so the process will work for a lot of different shapes. So the best thing to do is just get in there and try it, and looking forward to seeing the results.